off. Hilary, I'm going to jump straight into you. Enough for me. I do want to say thank you to everybody for joining us. Thank you, Safe Harbor. Thank you, Trace Vistas. I know everybody is very busy right now in this time, so thank you. So Hilary, I'm going to turn it over to you and ask, as somebody that has gone through trauma, that has gone through substance abuse, how has this pandemic that we are in with COVID affected you personally, and what are some things that you've done for your recovery, and what are some of the tools that you could share with our guests?
Oh, thank you so much, Jason. And thank you so much to all our panelists ahead of time for what you're going to be bringing to the people out there today. In May, I turned 23 years sober, and I'm also a girl that had to face trauma in sobriety and other aspects of painful transformation. And I can tell you, so I've overcome a lot, but I am a girl that I am part of a recovery network that there's a lot of human interaction. And it was really hard for me to deal with this in the beginning. And I did face some depression in this, and fear and different things like that. And so I allowed myself a small period of time to, be in that. And then I'm like, nope, we got to get to the solution here. We have to get to the solution. And the biggest thing was telling on myself, getting my ego out of it. Because at the time when this started, I had 22 years sober, and I've learned that I have to keep my ego out of it. And I need to be transparent about where I really am, because it's about a we deal. And if I can't let you see into me, which intimacy is into me see, then you can't help me. We can't help each other if we're not being completely transparent. The other thing is that I had to really start, jumping into praying and meditating, reaching out to others. What can I do for you? I started taking elderly people within that network groceries. How can I be of service? I also really started diving into my creativity, and my creativity is music. And so I really dove into that. And the other thing I wasn't doing in my depression, it's about taking action. I cannot think myself into right feeling. I have to bring the body, and the mind will follow. I have to act myself into right thinking. And just like I learned in early sobriety, it's about acting as if. And if I was a person that was sober, what actions would I take? If I'm a person during the pandemic who also deals with, all kinds of human emotion, what are the actions I take as a healthy human being? I need to exercise. The food has been up and down for me because I'm a sugaraholic. That's still my thing, but, and so I'd kind of go to extremes a little bit with that, but, nothing like it used to be. So it's about exercising. It's about reaching out to others and connecting, creating music, really diving deeper into ways. I do all kinds of things today. I mean, I do breathing techniques. I do stuff with oils. I know that might sound a little strange to people. I started picking that up in the last few years when I was facing some crazy relationship stuff that I had to surrender on a whole new level. But it's been about spending, and also looking at the gifts. I had myself and girls that I mentor write out what are the gifts from the pandemic, because they were writing about, how hard it was and how difficult, but what are some of the gifts? Well, the gift is I can slow down, because I was traveling all the time. I was touring, promoting music, doing all these things. I can stop, listen to the birds, see the butterflies. I can watch the sunsets. I can take walks. I can spend time with my family, like doing the mundane things magnificently. And that is what is, and it's really about also taking a look at my thoughts. Is this a negative thought, or is this a proactive thought? Is anything negative about me, which is what depression kind of takes us down, that negative thinking, any negative thought about myself, or going into fear-mongering crazy town, it doesn't help. So can I stop that thought, pause? Can I turn it around? Can I turn it around into something positive? And that has been an exercise too, and to list those qualities about myself, about others. And the bottom line is that I'm a woman of faith. So God has been through a lot of things in this world. We've gone to, we've had thousands of years on this planet, and this is not going to be the thing. This is not going to be, and if it is, it's just going to change my address. So, I can either stay in the problem or I can get into the solution. What is my choice to be right now? And I don't want to wait till I feel that, Jason. I mean, it's really about taking that action and being easy on myself. It's okay that I struggled in the beginning of the pandemic. It's okay. It's okay hurting for the world. All those things are okay, but to stay stuck in it and that quicksand is not okay. So it's about picking up tools and doing those things. And, we launched our podcast for Red Songbird Foundation, and that's been a wonderful thing, working with my co-chair, Jason Waller, who actually he and Alex orchestrated this whole pandemic inside a pandemic. And, just this morning, I got a call that a 19-year-old boy that I used to teach singing lessons to took his own life. He's making $30,000 a month as a YouTuber, being a young father. They had a baby at 16, just had another one this year. And he started having a problem with alcohol and drugs. He did not accept the help. His own father is sober, and he hung himself on Friday. And that, my friend, that shows you that money doesn't fix it. Fame doesn't fix it. All of these things don't fix it. My own cousin killed himself, who had a scholarship to Yale. Beautiful, gorgeous man, heartbroken, and killed himself. My other cousin, 4 years ago, she was thrown into a field after overdosing on what she thought was heroin, but the first shot killed her, and it was fentanyl. And that is without a pandemic. So imagine the isolation, because isolation is what we don't want. So if you're hurting out there, and I want to speak to those people, if you're hurting, there are recovery programs. There are therapy that offer a sliding scale, and there's suicide hotlines. There's the trauma hotlines. Reach out, send an email to us on our foundation. You can reach out to me or Jason on Instagram, Facebook, and we will get with you. We don't ignore you on these things. We take this very seriously. I love getting to do my music, but my primary purpose is to help the hurting people of the world. Period. And you must reach out. No matter what's going on with the pandemic, you must reach out and not isolate. And see, and I struggled with that for the first week. It was like I was isolating and binge watching TV and eating and doing my stuff. And then I had to get back on the bandwagon. And, it's how can I get out of myself and be of service to other people? So I just want to leave with you. Don't do it alone. Act yourself into right thinking, and don't wait for you to feel okay to do it. Just take the action, as hard as it is. And you can do this. We are here for you.
Amazing, Hilary. And I think you bring up a really important fact. I think there's so many amazing things you brought up, but there's one thing for people out there is exercise. Your brain produces more potent chemicals than heroin. You just got to let it work. The serotonin, the dopamines, get those things moving, get those things going. But service is a huge thing. And Hilary, I'm very sorry to hear about your friend. I did not know that. But it just goes to show, alcohol sales are up 400% right now. Marijuana sales are up 250%. The numbers are astronomical. It is crazy. And people are looking for anything to be able to get out of self because they're in such a dark place right now.